Good afternoon, everyone. I am Blue Eyed Molly, and this very beautiful woman sitting beside me is our forest flower. How are you today,
Hello.
flower?
I am well. How are you?
I'm interesting.
I
Yeah, yeah. The greeting we have is just so trite, hey? If
know.
we could talk for hours about how we're doing. Yeah,
Mhm.
but it's an icebreaker, I guess, eh? So we'll just go with it and
It works.
it works. So, Flower and I are recording another conversation from this book, Dancing the Dreams. Flower has been reading through it. Um, you've been putting out a lot of videos lately, hey?
Yeah, I was really energetic the other day and I counted how many sections were left in the video or in the
The book?
book. Yeah, in the book. And I realized that at my current rate of recording, it would probably take 6 to 8 months to get the book out. And I thought, oh, okay, maybe I should do this a little faster. So,
That's awesome. I
yeah.
love it. Yeah, so we're going to just take a couple of moments now to to settle in, um, to calm ourselves down so that we can speak our truth, so we can speak the truth. And those of you who are listening, you can also just calm yourselves down, the restlessness, the unsettledness. Let that go so that you can hear what it is that you need to hear today. So let's put our right hands on our hearts and our left hands on our top of our heads. And let's just focus on our hearts. Breathe into your hearts for a little bit. Feel them expanding. If you have your box, no, if you have your heart tucked inside a little box, feel your heart pushing against the edges, wanting to be free. Feel Flower and I connecting with you. And then move your attention up to your head, the top of the head. And just breathe into the cobwebs, the clutter, the confusion, the frustration, and just let it go for right now. Just see it all shake loose into our Earth Mother. And feel your mind start to calm down, start to come back together. So you can think and hear a little bit more clearly. And take your left hand and put it right underneath your belly button. This is where our life force energy radiates from. And take a few deep breaths into this center. Our conversation today, these conversations, this book, this is where we get fed. This is how we fan our flames. And I'll just put both hands on top of our heart. And I want you to thank yourself for showing up for yourself today. And I am proud of you for showing up for yourself today, for being here, for listening, for being curious, even though you may not understand, for asking questions, for digging deep. We are loved, we are worthy, and we are enough. And just take a deep breath in through the nose and let it out with a sigh through the mouth. And then something that Flower and I are going to do, you are welcome to join us as well. We're going to put our our right hand gently on our throat, and we're going to put our left hand on our collarbones, and we're just going to gently pull apart. And we're going to breathe in 3 times into our throat chakra. I speak my truth, even though it may inconvenience others. I speak my truth with grace and gentleness. I will speak my truth because that is what I am being called to do. For the good of all and the harm of none. All right. That was beautiful. So, Flower told me that she had very little to say. And I didn't tell her, but I thought, shit, man, we could talk about this for 3 hours. This is so fucking profound. I'm like, how do I even choose? And I thought, you know what? This is just so amazing to me. I'm just gonna read some of it. I'm gonna read most of it. I'm not so so Flower's reading through this on the channel. So we'll put up the playlist in the corner there somewhere. But so we'll put it up here right now so you can go back and you can listen to this blurb. But I'm gonna read a few paragraphs just because this just hits me so hard. So this is what Flower doesn't have much to say about, and I apparently can just expound on it. I can pontificate on it today for hours. So we'll even each other out maybe. Okay, now I gotta see if I can read this. My eyes are not great these days. Turn on a little light here. Okay. Beginning the 7 sacred paths of human transformation. The 7 paths of transformation are never forced upon us. They present themselves as opportunities. We may feel that we are at the mercy of life's events, but even amid tragedy, fears, or loss, we are given choices and the opportunity to wake up. We can deny the existence of these alternate paths of understanding and remain safely unaware of them, or we can risk looking deeper. When the light goes on and we embrace the awakening process, we start to remember the things that our spirits have always known. As we become more conscious, we become aware of the divine significance or spiritual purpose that we carry within us. Doors begin to open, and we start to perceive the spirit or life force that animates our universe. Only then do we awaken and realize exactly how our lives are intricately woven within the whole. The awakening process allows us to become aware of a bigger picture. Each part of the 7 sacred paths of human transformation allows us to expand beyond our formal tunnel vision. There are no lesser or greater paths through life. We have free will and are allowed either to look beyond the accepted horizons or to remain on a life path that suits our views of reality. The seen and unseen realms are of equal importance. Becoming aware of the intangible forces that shape the human experience adds immeasurable possibilities to our life experiences. If we choose to explore the intangible realms of consciousness, what my teachers call the dream weave, we discover new layers of the life force found in spirit, thought, emotion, dreams, feelings, aspirations, creativity, and intent. Our budding awareness of the intangible aspects of human life adds new dimensions and understanding and wisdom, allowing us to see how divine consciousness intertwines with every aspect of physical life. If you choose to embrace these paths, you will remember that before your birth, your spirit, your spark of life, was exhaled from the Creator, the great mystery, God. That spark of life came from the Creator's fire of creation and was attached to an invisible thread of spiritual energy that sent you forth into the universe and animated the physical body you inhabit with life force. Embracing these paths, you will remember your purpose for being, your role in life, and how to transform any part of your human experience that keeps you from becoming your potential. The challenges that you face during the awakening process and transformation are your personal initiations, marking your passage of change. So, Flower, I'll let you start today.
Oh
What
boy.
what are your first thoughts?
So my first thoughts, um, is like none of this is forced on us. It's all a choice. We choose to do it, we choose not to do it. And like when I first got like really sick with the neurological stuff, if somebody had come to me and presented this information to me, I would have just totally said, no, I don't want to hear it. I can't listen to that, because at the time it was all about survival. Like it was so bad right at first. I can't describe it, like, and I don't have much memory of it, but I know if somebody had come to me with this information, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. And so it took quite a bit longer for me to finally get ready. But, even then it's never forced. I didn't have to choose to start reading this book and following things and reading other books and exploring healing. And I didn't have to do that. I could have stayed where I was and kept living life that way. Nothing's going to force you to do this, and nothing can do it for you. Right? Nobody can heal for you. Nobody can choose to say, you know what, oh, you should go on the third path. Like nobody can, it's all up to you. It's all up to you. And if we start doing this, we can walk away from it. We don't have to like, if somebody says, yeah, I think I'll look into this. And then if all of a sudden it doesn't work for you, okay. That's fine. That's fine too. It's never forced upon us. It's presented as opportunities. And then a lot of this other stuff that's in this section, to be perfectly honest, I'm still working through, which is why I don't have a lot to say about this section, because this is all like still really new to me. I've read this book, but I've only read it once, right? And so, I just totally lost my train of thought.
That really struck me too, how nothing is forced upon us. And I've been thinking a
Yeah.
lot this past while how people just feel so trapped.
Yeah.
So trapped by everything. And Paul and I were talking about uncertainty on the live on Sunday, and they just feel
Yeah.
trapped by and uncertain, and we're not trapped, you know. We may feel like we're not in control, but we are, you know. And if nothing else, we're in control of our hearts and our words and our thoughts. And isn't that the most important thing to be in control of?
Mm-hmm. I think that's probably, I don't know if probably is the right word, but it's definitely one of the first steps of healing is, getting a grip on your thoughts. That's for me anyways, that was a really big and still is a really big thing, because with your thoughts, you can change your reality.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen overnight. It's not, I guess it can happen overnight. I don't know. But your thoughts and your words and your emotions, like that's where the healing starts, I think.
Yeah, so you can choose to be angry and feel trapped by the rising prices of food and gas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's honestly that's where most people are. They're choosing to be angry about it.
Yeah.
They feel like they don't have a choice but to be angry, right? Like that's a trapness, right? And I lived
Hmm.
that way for most of my life. Like I right now I would just be in an absolute panic because the prices keep rising and rising and rising, and my income is actually just either stayed the same, it never went up, or it even went down, right?
Yeah.
But that's a choice. And that's what people don't understand. It's a choice. And
Right,
it
right.
blew my mind when I realized, oh, I can actually decide whether I'm going to be angry about food prices and in a panic, or it's like, you know what? I don't know how, but it's going to be okay some way. I'll enjoy the food I have. I'm not going to go out and like buy really expensive things, or I'll make sure that I have nutrient dense foods to the best of my ability and then just let it go. And
Right,
it's that
right.
way with everything. You know, every single thing we have a choice in how we think about it.
Yeah, we do. Coming to that realization is a pretty big stepping point too, I think, for people. And again, all I can speak to is my own experience, right? My own experience was that, when I realized I don't have to be angry over such and such, or, when I realized, wait a minute, I don't have to react that way. That was a pretty big change in my life. Now, like, if I feel those emotions coming up or something, I can say, okay, hold on, we can choose how we react to this. You don't
Yeah.
have to act. Mine is my big one's fear. It's the one that comes up on me all the time, is fear, like fear of the prices being so high, or fear of, where are we going to get our income from,
Yeah.
and things like that. And it's like, you know what, but those fears, that worry, that concern doesn't benefit you. It doesn't fix the problem. All it does is create health problems.
Right?
Yeah. So
Doing that, though, requires people taking responsibility for themselves. And that's where most people, it's easier to like pass the blame on, right? No, it's not my
oh, sure.
problem, it's your problem, right? But then it's
Right,
so
right.
cliched, but really, like I'm pointing a finger at you. Well, I do have all these fingers pointing back at me, you
Hmm.
know? And what is blaming someone else really getting you? Is it getting you what you want? Is by you blaming government getting the food prices to be reduced? Yeah, no, right?
No.
It's just a freaking waste of energy. So
Yeah,
just
it
let's
is.
start taking responsibility for ourselves because all I am in control of is me.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, we need to call our power back.
Yes. Yes.
We've given so much of our power away, when it comes to food, or when it comes to healing, or everything, everything, we've given our power away, and a lot of people just don't have the, I'm not sure what I'm trying to, my words are a little tricky today.
That's okay. People don't even realize they have power to begin with.
Right, right, yeah. Yeah, like that you can even call your power back. Like, what do you mean I
No,
can call my power back? I don't have a choice in the matter.
right.
Walmart is where you get your food, and
Yeah.
you gotta have this, and you gotta do this, and you gotta do this. And it's like, no, you don't.
No, that's a lie.
You know, the first thing people do when they have like not all people, but when they have like a sore shoulder or something, is run to the doctor, you know, give my power to the doctor and let the doctor tell me what's wrong with me, instead of me sitting here acknowledging my shoulder pain, talking to my shoulder and saying, hey, what is this?
Yeah.
Because we have our own power. We have the power to feed ourselves. We have the power to heal ourselves.
Yeah.
We just have to be at a place where we are able to recognize that and then step forward and do it.
That kind of ties into something else that caught my eye here. There are no lesser or greater paths through life. And so the way that I'll tie that into what you were just talking about is we glamorize people who have money. We glamorize people who we think we have power, or who we think they have power. I don't think that came out right, but what you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Right? So I was having a conversation the other day with someone, and we were talking about healers who charge a lot of money for their, like, to help heal someone for their gifts, right?
Yeah.
And we see that as status. It's like, oh, I went to go see a healer and they cost $750. So like their healing abilities are just so amazing because they're charging so much.
Right, right.
Meanwhile, here in Western society, we see someone like me who does not charge. I give of myself freely. Well, she's just learning. She must not be very powerful, right?
Right,
So
right.
so then the people who think that, they go on an ayahuasca trip, like, or that's like the whole plant medicine thing. Now they spent thousands and thousands of dollars, so they think that their path maybe is a little bit greater than someone who's just um
Right.
doesn't have access to anything like that. And that's an interesting thing to think on and even talk about and explore, because there is no greater or lesser path. Whether
Right.
you sit alone in the forest underneath a tree as a hermitess for 5 years, or you go do plant medicine in a different country, or you're like a monk who is spending his entire life in a monastery, or you're Mother Teresa, or you're just someone working at McDonald's for minimum wage, or all our paths are equal.
Yes. Mhm.
And that's a hard thing for many people to comprehend, because we associate money with being better than.
Yeah. Yeah. And another way that I think affects people is that then they compare themselves to that other person,
Yeah.
right? Say this healer that is $750, then you end up comparing yourself to them, and you're like, well, you can't do that. You can't compare your life to somebody else's life. And this is a huge thing for me, right? Because I see other people, or I see, you or my other friends, and I'm like, well, but I'm not doing that, or I'm not getting that, or I'm not where they are, or whatever. We can't do that.
No.
We can't do that. My path is my path. That's the only one that I can compare myself to myself, in ways that I've changed and grown and that type of thing. But we get stuck in comparing ourselves to other people, or like you were saying, putting other people up on pedestals because of this, that, or the other, and there's none of that. Like, we are all human. We're all different, don't get me wrong. Like, we're all different and unique and all that kind of stuff, right? But we're all equal. We're all equal.
Yeah, and that's still something I'm wrapping my mind around, because how can the partner abused me
Right.
equal to the Viking?
Hmm.
Like,
Right.
we're even beyond apples and oranges, you
No
know,
doubt, huh?
and they're still equal. I'm like,
Hmm.
it's a bit of a mind bender.
It is. It is. It's hard because, yeah, I can get stuck in that one for a couple hours.
If you're only in there a couple of hours, that's okay. Once you like are into the weeks and months, then
A couple hours at a time. But yeah.
what other notes do you have for us, Flower?
I think, yeah, we have a choice to do this. We can work at healing or be overcome by it. Start the pod. Yeah, I think that's, yeah, I think that was the biggest message I got from this part, is you can do this or you cannot do this. And you can start
Yeah.
doing this and you can stop doing this. Or, it's not going to be forced on you. It is up to you. If you want to change, you have to make the choice to change. Nobody can change you. And we can't change people who are not ready to change. We cannot heal people who are not ready to heal. And that's, yeah. That's all I got.
I want to touch on one more thing.
Hmm.
Uh, So this just touches me so deeply. If you choose to embrace these paths, you will remember that before your birth, your spirit,
Hmm.
your spark of life was exhaled from the creator, the great mystery, God. That just gives me chills. You
Mhm.
know, when we start on our path, we remember our sacredness. So I'm still just chilling here. Isn't that just beautiful? Isn't that just so, so beautiful?
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, we had something that was short and sweet.
Good for us.
Is there anything else that you would like to talk about before we say until next time, Flower?
Mhm.
All right. We love you all so, so much. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you again real soon. Let us know your thoughts, your comments, um, where you, how, yeah, how you feel about this all, and we'll talk to you again sometime.